saw much of the world left oblivious and elicited little more than a detached sense of curiosity from most people who knew of it, the quiet emergence of consumer drone warfare appeared to a select few to be an opportunity. The few in question would found a company called Epirus, named in homage to an ancient Greek state that rose to prominence in the 270s BC.
As though much of what happens in schools in North America is really for the convenience of people who have most of the power. There is, if anything, an active discouragement of critical questioning. Corporations claim they want kids who are able to think outside the box, but only
my subscription to the resurrection. Send my credentials to the house of
Today, Epirus refers to itself as a so-called neo-prime, an organization that works to, quote, innovate, build, and deliver ahead of the need, in response to the challenges of modern asymmetric warfare. But in the months after it was founded in 2018, the startup was quietly bringing together people from across the American defense and tech world who knew enough to see where this new trend toward drone warfare was headed. The US military
as they're caught within a larger box that works to the advantage of the free market, which means that the market economy, based on competition, based on economic rather than human considerations, ends up controlling the system.
I got some friends inside.
The military hadn't issued any calls yet for a system that could nullify the threat that cheap aerial drones posed, or at least they hadn't issued any calls publicly. But as soon as those same drones were turned against American forces, the Pentagon would undoubtedly realize the urgency of procuring such a device, and when they did, Epirus intended to have an answer already waiting. The answer
Today, many people assume that antisocial and even violent behavior by young people is a completely natural phenomenon. Yet anthropological studies reveal this to be a myth. Our widespread use of the term juvenile delinquency exposes not only the failure of modern schooling, but of an important concept.
theater they ultimately built, well, that goes by the name Leonidas, honoring another figure of ancient Greek history, Leonidas of Epirus, the tutor to Alexander the Great. Unveiled in 2020, the Leonidas system was the first and most promising answer that the United States had, either public or private,
given expression by the behaviorists. They called it the frustration-aggression hypothesis. The frustration-aggression hypothesis was an attempt
to neutralize the threat of aerial drones, and very quickly the Pentagon showed interest. By 2021, the General Dynamics Corporation was working with Epirus to make the Leonidas weapon into a mobile system. A few months later, it was modified to fly in combat, and by the first weeks of 2023, Epirus was on the hook to get several
behaviorists at Yale to combine their own science of behavior with that of the Freudians. Simply put, when people perceive that they are being prevented from achieving just rewards, their frustration is likely to turn to aggression. This study by the behaviorist Hobart Maurer showed that when rats could not achieve their expected reward,
prototypes to the US military as quickly as possible. It was a remarkably rushed process, atypical for a slow and churning military-industrial complex that prefers to contract to well-established partners. But as predicted, the Leonidas system has shown up in a moment when the Department of Defense was recognizing a critical need. And as promised, the technology they provided was proven capable just in time to address the problem America.
they began to take out their frustrations on each other. The scientist notes that two animals which have lost their hold on the pellet, frustration, will be seen to turn on each other, displaced aggression. Similarly, in a 1941 experiment, toys were placed behind a wire screen where children could see but not touch them. When they eventually gained access to the toys, their play became considerably more.
It's time.
Barely knew it had. Although the name Leonidas honors a historical figure from ancient Epirus, perhaps the best way to explain the Leonidas system is to draw on another famous Greek historical figure of the same name, Leonidas I, ancient king of Sparta. Leonidas I and his Spartan warriors
destructive. On the one hand, Human beings are not rats. Armed with the necessary information, we can come to a logical conclusion about who is to blame for our frustrations in life. Rightly or wrongly, we often point the finger squarely back at ourselves.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
Very